There's 5 simple steps to ensure that you can get up and running with your business ASAP. I think one of the biggest problems that I face with photographers when they join the likes of my Xperience business group or other kind of business groups I've been involved with over the years is procrastination, in fact. So these 5 steps that we're looking at now are kind of things that you can do quickly. It's almost kind of marketing on a kind of small piece of paper, or BMAT marketing, I call it. So things that you can get up and running straight away. So let's look at them in turn and just a quick kind of guide of what you can do to get your business up and running very, very fast. Step 1, decide what types of photography service you'll offer. For me, the most important piece of advice for you if you're looking to actually change your hobby into a profession is to make sure you follow your passion to begin with. So if your passion is dance photography, perhaps look at that, at how you can create a business model based around that. If you're passionate about child photography, then obviously you kind of build your business around that. Why? It's probably because you've spent your most time doing it, you've got your biggest portfolio doing it, so it'll be the simplest and easiest thing to actually kind of launch. Plus, of course, when you have a passion, you're inherently addicted to something and you're interested in it rather than actually just doing it for the money. Yes, of course, turning a hobby into a business is a completely different kind of task. However, if you can just follow your passion, you'll find that the business can kickstart itself much, much quicker for obvious reasons. Don't be afraid to move in away from your passion, but sticking to the core is absolutely key if we're going to develop the business within a short period of time. Once we start to bring in specialist subjects away from what we know, or more niche subjects, the biggest problem is that there's going to be a bigger, steeper learning curve as you go through the business during the course of the first year. Number 2, create a business plan. When you say the words create a business plan, most photographers go cold, cringe, curl into a ball and actually kind of hide around a corner. They don't want to become business people, but unfortunately for you, if you're going to create a business, that means you have to have some form of business plan to make sure that you've got some kind of mission and you can kind of gauge its success. The first thing you need to do is identify your X times Y equals Z plan. So in other words, the amount of sessions is X times the amount of money you hope to earn from each one will actually end up with Z, which is the obviously total turnover, which will contain the right amount of profit, of course. First things first, be realistic. So a one-person photography business realistically can shoot only 1 to 2 sessions per day without any other assistance from other people. Yes, there's exceptions to the rule, but it usually takes a little bit more of fine-tuning of the engine to make sure that you've got a structure and kind of an ability to not only shoot the session, but edit it, sell it, and obviously finish it, send it off to the lab and actually get it collected by the client. So a business plan, a simple business plan, is essential to understanding physically what you can do to avoid a kind of a mental breakdown or a business breakdown in the figures. Number 3. Name and establish your business. I know this might sound stupid, but I get so many photographers saying, what shall I call my business? I want to sell it in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time. The reality is it's going to be very hard to sell a photographic business unless you built it into a large franchise or you found such a close niche market, which I've never heard of before, that you're really not going to be able to sell your product. So don't be afraid of using your own name within your business. Even if it's attached to a kind of a different name. So the word like Kodak, for me, at my age, is synonymous with the world of photography. However, new age photographers coming in now, the word Kodak is not synonymous with photography as we know it, more perhaps synonymous still with cinematic. So don't be afraid of a name that doesn't mean anything. But on the other hand, don't be afraid of using your own name, your own brand within the likes of the logo and actually the business marketing. Brand is absolutely essential, and building a business around your own brand, you the person, is something that you shouldn't be afraid of. I've always traded under Mark Cleghorn Photography. I've got no problems with that at all. So as far as the simplicity of the brand name, the business name is concerned, then you've got to look at the simplicity of the logo. It's always worth investing into a logo of some kind. I think the likes of a Fiverr.com is an auction site where they can actually bid to create a logo for you, but you can get some ideas from all over the globe using the likes of Pinterest and Google search now to get some ideas. But remember, create your own logo, don't plagiarize somebody else's and things. And then as far as your own website is concerned, get it up and running as soon as you can, along with your social channels. A website in itself should be clear and simple, doesn't always have to have hundreds and hundreds of images on view, but make sure anytime that somebody is viewing an image, there's an option there to actually find more information about you and your brand, or even actually the information about booking. Number 4, equipment and supplies. So probably when you're starting off your business, you've already got a reasonable amount of equipment anyway. Don't get into buying everything that you see demoed, because that will be the worst thing. You'll just end up with a load of kit, not knowing how to use it. It'll be stored in a cover, just gathering dust and really not actually being used within the business. Most of my photography is based on one big light, whether I'm working outside or inside. But of course, for a more technical and more commercial style of lighting, we're using multiple lights within a studio environment to create separation in 3 dimension to the subject and background. The simpler you keep your photography, probably the brand will develop quicker than actually getting a mediocre style of photography, just following what everybody else is doing and doing it badly. So make sure any equipment that you're buying will actually at least have a 3 to 5 year lifespan, unless you're absolutely on a tight budget. And you've got to get the business going with a cheaper kind of product range now, but don't be afraid to actually replace it as soon as you can once you start to earn some profit. As far as what you're selling is concerned, is probably the most important thing to look at, because what the client sees is what the client buys. So whether you're designing your business around digital sales or product sales for the wall, that's really down to you. But whatever you do, make sure you're using a professional company to ensure that the product is delivered on time, there's a perfect in its production, which is going to minimize any firefighting with you and the client if there's anything wrong with the product and things. I use the likes of Loxley Colour, pretty much it's an online ordering system for me. I know once I order the product, it depends on what it is, but it's usually being delivered within 3 to 5 days. So it's a quick turnaround, kind of really designed for the high street today as well. But whoever you use, make sure, again, it's a price that you can afford. There's no good buying expensive products, trying to sell expensive products, if the client you're attracting in cannot afford what you're trying to sell. So make sure in that kind of suppliers is concerned that you understand the product and you understand their pricing structure so you can earn the profit. Number 5, marketing your business. Well, today social media is still the instant up and running, press of a button kind of quick marketing tool. And again, there's some very special skills to do with that, but you can get up and running straight away, but you can also waste quite a lot of money straight away if you do it wrong. One of the things that we cover quite a lot within the Xperience group is basically how to maximize your marketing budget and time. When you're marketing the business in the longer term, though, you want to actually spread your wings away from just social spread. Otherwise, you're going to really minimize, and you're competing on a world stage with world budgets, and you want to make sure that you're getting in front of the client in a different way. So think about local businesses, think about friends and family, people that you know in business as well, but try and build up a community of different ways to actually generate more business coming into your business. Remember, that's the one kind of priority. So there you go, that's 5 quick ways to make sure that you can set up a business today, get up and running, stop your procrastinating, and actually start to earn some money from your passion of photography very quickly.